What did Morez Johnson Jr. have to say at his introductory press conference? We break down what the Michigan man had to say. Coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Episodes of the DLLS Mavs podcast presented by FanDuel Predicts. Our DLLS Mavs draft week coverage is presented by FanDuel Predicts. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harad Jr., our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Krella. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys cover your favorite team, especially when a Michigan man had something to say today at his introductory press conference. Morez Johnson Jr., officially a Dallas Maverick, will break down what he had to say today as we move that much closer to NBA free agency. We've already seen some deals get completed today. How much more could we see over the next couple of weeks as we are that much closer to free agency on this terrific Thursday afternoon? Ron Harad Jr., what's going on?
Doing good. I was trying to do the Morez, where I just stopped.
Oh, you just stopped?
Like, doing good.
Good. Carla, what's going on?
All
right, cool. Got it.
No, I'm doing good.
Are we matching, by the way? Are we color matching?
We kind of are.
We kind of are.
I believe this is
like
a
baby blue is. Yes, definitely is.
Actually, all three of us are. Look at your shirt.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Some blue in there.
Let's go. So it does appear, I've just been calling him Morez Johnson, but it does appear even Mavs PR is referring to him as Morez Johnson Jr., so the junior it's here to stay.
His father was there, and he introduced himself as Morez.
Yeah.
Big Morez, I think is what he said.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sweet. So that's the Mavs' first junior since Derek Jones and Tim Hardaway, right?
Is P.J. Washington
Derek
Jr.?
Jones Jr.?
Isn't P.J. Washington Jr.?
Yeah, Derek was.
P.J. Washington is also junior.
Yeah, Paul Jermaine Jr.
He doesn't have it on his jersey.
He doesn't have his jersey.
Oh, no.
Lively has Lively the second.
Oh, was Junior on his jersey? I didn't realize.
I don't think at Michigan, I don't think it was, but I don't know.
Wait, I literally have a photo. I took the photo of him.
So that means we have a second.
Junior was on the jersey.
Junior's on the jersey, okay.
By the
so
way, he's wearing
Johnson
number
Jr.
14. Derek,
Okay.
you said number 21. He's wearing number 14. Mm-hmm. Last worn by Miles Kelly.
So we have a P.J. Washington Jr., a Morez Johnson Jr., and a Derek Lively the second now.
Yeah, do I like second or junior better?
I'm a junior.
I guess I'm a junior. Maybe I'm biased, but I do like
juniors.
the second. I do like the second, though.
Yeah, y'all are both juniors, so you should like junior more.
Yeah.
Ron Harad Jr., Kevin Gray Jr. We just got juniors.
My dad has senior like in his ad name. Like seniors.
He does have.
Seniors are very loyal to the SR.
With the dot.
Seniors want that to be like. They want that to be, okay, you're going to put junior in the back of that.
Look, we're here to put the respect on Morez Johnson Jr.'s name. And we had a chance to get to know Morez a little bit earlier today as he spoke at the American Airlines Center, giving his first introductory press conference quotes. Took questions for about 15, 20 minutes at the AAC as he gets ready potentially for Summer League here in the next couple of weeks, but also for an anticipated rookie year alongside sophomore sensation Cooper Flagg. Morez Johnson Jr., of course, the number 9 pick on Tuesday night in the NBA draft to join his fellow Michigan man in Dusty May, as, of course, Dusty May will be introduced on Monday at 1 p.m. at the AAC as the next franchise head coach. But here is what Morez had to say when I had the chance to ask him what he learned at Michigan and what should we know about his game that folks may not necessarily know. Here's what Morez had to say.
When I first got to Michigan, me and Dusty was talking about less is more. I said it's the biggest thing I learned while I was there and what guys don't know about my game. I say probably like I'm a competitor, a guy that wants to win, do whatever it takes to win, very versatile on both ends of the floor, rebound very good, great teammate.
Great teammates, versatile on the floor, great rebounder. But the first part of his answer was interesting to me. He said less is more is what he learned from Dusty May at Michigan, which you saw during his season last year. he did a little bit of everything. Didn't have to do too much. He played his role to a perfect T to help Michigan win a national championship. Ron, as we were there in the press conference, we learned that this is a man who speaks softly but carried a massive stick at Michigan. And the mild-mannered young man seems to know that he's very comfortable in his own skin.
By stick, what do you mean?
I mean, he's 6'9". That's a big dude. It's a big, strong
that
dude.
Stick. No, I mean, it's a valid question. But I mean, yeah, Morez. I didn't watch him do any interviews in Michigan. Yaxel is kind of like the big personality of that team.
He's a big spokesperson.
He's doing the
team.
TikToks
Yeah.
and he's dancing. And
Yeah.
Yaxel is kind of the big personality of that squad. So I didn't see many Morez videos. Most of the Morez memes are him like standing behind the coach, like look like he's about to freaking choke someone out. And like low key, that describes Morez Johnson Jr. the best. It's like he's kind of like the big bouncer in the room. Like he's the guy that doesn't say too many words, but when that drunk guy tries to get too close to that line, he's putting you in that headlock. He's pushing you out that line. Like he's just the big bully that won't say many words. When it's time to get down, he's ready to get down. Like
if someone tries to pick up Cooper Flagg this upcoming season,
yeah, like
Morez
Najee Marshall's
Jr.,
right there. We got Morez, we got PJ. Like,
Yeah.
this team has a couple of bullies. This team is going to be defensively. I'm not really worried at all. Really, the only thing is again the perimeter, point of attack defense. They're still kind of missing that, but besides that, so it's a lot of roles from there. So I thought Morez. I didn't expect the quiet nature, but that kind of fits the mold of kind of what this team is right now.
Bobby, what did you think you learned a little bit from Morez Johnson Jr. today as he had a chance to speak to the media for the first time?
I wish he showed his personality a little more.
I think that was his
That's what I learned
personality,
about
Bobby.
him. I learned that I wish that he talked more. Everyone is too media trained, man. Just be yourself. Come on. Now maybe he is just a quiet guy.
Like Legos, he said that, which we kind of already knew.
He hasn't had a chance to talk to Lively about the whole Legos thing just yet, but he said he plans on talking to him very soon.
Yeah. But yeah, the less is more thing I think is good. I mean, maybe he becomes a guy that scores 20 a game or something, but odds are, at least right out of the gate, he's going to be more of a rebound, hustle, switch defense, get some stuff around the rim, whether that's dunks or putbacks, things like that. Just dominate the simple. Mike Procopio, former Mavs player development coach, that was his big thing. Still is his big thing. Dominate the simple. Once you try and do too much, it's just you're out of your depths. Do the things that you're good at. Do the things that are needed. You don't got to do a single thing more than that. And if you just do those things, you're gonna have a long career. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna win a lot of games. Everybody wins. So just less is more. Don't press. Don't try too hard. Just do it.
Yeah. I think attitude for a big man is not more important than skill, but as we saw in the playoffs this year, where Chet Holmgren is wilting. Evan Mobley was wilting. Jaren Jackson a couple years ago was wilting. And it's these are really skilled players, they're really high picks, but it's I just watched as Isaiah Hartenstein, he was going pretty hard. He's nowhere near as skilled as Chet Holmgren. OG Anunoby's nowhere near as skilled. Cat is very skilled, but Cat also did not wilt. The attitude and the personality, and big man is offensive lineman. You just want nasty guys that I don't want the nice big. You want a big that's going to punch someone in the face. And that guy right there, I would not want to be in a fight with Morez Johnson Jr. Not at all.
Yeah, you want to set the tone, and
Yeah.
Coop plays that same way. I don't think Coop is going to punch anyone. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll one day.
Maybe he's more like a
chokehold
guy. Chokehold guy.
Yeah.
You said Nurkic is standing in front of him.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. Rick Carlisle said they can't all be milk drinkers, right? He's like, you kind of have to have a little crazy on your team, but it's sort of different now, man. Basketball now is so many individual battles, but it's also so much switching. It's so much targeting guys. Everyone's got to be a little on edge. Everyone needs to be a little bit of a jerk. You got to get willing to get dirty. Jalen Brunson, smallest guy on the Knicks, he will throw little elbows.
He'll
with
compete.
The hook. He'll lower his shoulder. He's
out.
gonna try and beat your ass. Josh Hart, little guy, he's gonna
sure.
fly in there and mix it up. OG, mix it up. Mikhail, he doesn't really mix it up. He's going to dig in on defense.
He'll pick his spots,
Cat will get pretty physical going to the basket.
He definitely did.
And the Knicks are a very relatively skilled team. They're a relatively offensive-minded team, and they decided to get nasty to beat the Spurs. So you need you can't just have one guy they can't all be milk drinkers, but they can't all be. I don't want any milk drinkers.
Yeah,
I don't like milk. Let's be. The Mavs are lactose intolerant.
We're an oat milk show.
Yeah, grab a beer and let's play some dang basketball.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think, with Brunson being the leader for the Knicks, they take his cues from him. And as you mentioned, Brunson is a guy that at times, he may get beat on the defensive end, but he's going to always compete no matter what. And you're not going to necessarily punk him on a particular night. He's going to continue to battle no matter what the circumstances are. We saw the amount of comebacks that the Knicks had with their never give up attitude that helped lead them, of course, to a national championship, to an NBA championship. One of the things that was discussed also in the presser, and Ron, we'll get to yours here in just a second because you got a great question for him as well. He was asked about, does he have a type of switch when it comes to his demeanor on the floor versus off the floor? Because we saw how mild-mannered he was during his press conference, but when he is on the floor, this is a young man who turns himself into a ferocious competitor, and he let us know that when he is on the floor, that's what time it is for him. And Ron, for him positionally, it's going to be fascinating watching him develop not only his overall game, but how the Mavericks will use him and where he fits best and what most comfortable he's in going into this upcoming year.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the question I was just the most curious to know. Like, doesn't mean that's how he'll play, but I just want to know, like, hey, early in your career, like, are you more comfortable as a 4 or are you more comfortable as a 5? Because he could have said 5. He still say he was comfortable at the 5, but he says, like, I'm a 4. Like, and that's probably, I would assume, how he'll see probably half of his minutes probably in his rookie season, maybe something around that as a power forward, quote unquote. But yeah, he had a great answer to that Tanner can queue up for us now.
Ron Harad, DLS Sports. Welcome to Dallas Morez.
Thank you.
You played the 4 in college. You played the 5 in college. In the NBA, where do you see yourself being the most comfortable early?
I'll say the 4. I think I'm capable of switching 1 through 5, and I'm still comfortable playing the 5. But, yeah, I don't know. The 4, I guess.
What do you think is your superpower? Would it be like rim protection, or would you think it's switching?
Just being able to switch, being able to guard more than one position.
He got me too.
That stop, man.
Yeah, he got me too. It got me too. How's that land for our analysts when you hear him say he feels most comfortable at the 4 and the position switching of guarding 1 through 5? Because I know that's something you were really excited about when you were looking at him as a prospect this upcoming year.
Yeah, I don't know how excited I am about him playing 4. But maybe the shot is realer than it looked at Michigan. He didn't take many threes at Michigan. They didn't take a whole lot of threes. I mean, their front court didn't take a lot of threes at Michigan necessarily. So, we just went through a year of trying to tell people why Anthony Davis is not a power forward. And like, if that experience wasn't enough to convince you that you need 4 shooters at least in order to even like get to 100 regularly, then I don't know what it'll take. So, we'll see. We'll see.
And think about how good Anthony Davis is, and they struggled even with him and Gafford.
Yeah.
Like, that was a problem.
They also didn't have a point guard.
Yeah,
right?
They also didn't have a point
guard. They didn't have any shooting either. It was rough. But, yeah, I don't think it – I love the idea of a Coop, Morez, Lively front court trio defensively, just like I loved the idea of a Coop, AD, Lively front court defensively. And whenever they were on the floor, their defense was very good. But like you still have to score, and so I just maybe that's the plan right away. And if it doesn't work, they'll probably figure something else out.
Let's take our first break here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. When we come back, we wrap up what was a very interesting week as far as the draft was concerned. The Mavericks get their Michigan man and Morez Johnson Jr. What else did we learn about the Mavericks and what they did this week in the NBA draft? Plus, a little bit later on, we'll dial up the Stein line with our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. All that and more coming up next.
It is international soccer tournament season, folks. There's tons of games every day. Now group play is wrapping up, and so you got a lot of games going on. You got the highest stakes imaginable as we head into the knockout round. And on FanDuel Predicts right now, you can play every goal pays. You can bet on a match, you get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com to get started now. Must be 21 or older in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, 18 or older in D.C. Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. If you're in Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org, visit gamblinghelplinema.org, or call 800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana. Get started on FanDuel Predicts today. Shady Rays. All right, I'm clumsy. Here's the deal. I'm clumsy. So whenever I was in New Jersey at my buddy's bachelor party last week, we were getting on boats. We were going to the beach. We're throwing football around, kicking the soccer ball around. I'm jumping in the water, swimming in the ocean, walking down the boardwalk. You know what it is, taking my sunglasses on and off, doing all sorts of reckless activities, giving myself plenty of opportunities to break my sunglasses, to lose my sunglasses, to damage my sunglasses, plenty of opportunities for someone to steal them. They might just sprout a pair of legs and walk right away. If that happens at Shady Rays, they have the best eyewear protection in the game. No worries, no blame, no shame, no questions asked. They will replace those puppies. And it's good, too, that they get them replaced because those sunglasses rock. I have 2 pairs myself. I love them. I literally take them everywhere. My pair is right there, and my other one is on my kitchen counter at home, just in case I want to mix them up. If you want to get started today, go to shadyrays.com. Use code SRDLLS for 50% off when you buy 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Again, SRDLLS is your promo code at shadyrays.com today.
What did we learn about the Dallas Mavericks this week as the NBA draft is officially over with, and we are just days away from the start of NBA free agency? Our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, will join us coming up in our next segment as the Mavericks complete what was a dramatic week in the NBA draft. We've seen some deals already get done as well across the NBA. We'll talk about that when we go around the association a little bit later on in our show as well. Appreciate all of y'all hanging out with us here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports. Join the over 45,100 subscribers already here with us. And you can search our podcast wherever you get your podcasts for free. Search DLLS Mavs, give it a 5-star rating, and write a review for it while you're there. Morez Johnson Jr., Sergio De La Reyes, your newest members of your Dallas Mavericks, among many of the Mavericks, among a total of what was 4 guys.
They took 4 players.
4 players that they drafted in this week's NBA draft.
I don't speak Russian.
Oh. Touche.
I love that. Which is where I'll start. I'll start with our resident analyst, Bobby Karella.
Please don't put me in a tight spot. I don't know.
What?
I still haven't learned Russian.
Vsevolod Ischenko.
Ischenko.
I love how you got that. That was great. No, this is an easy one. It's a softball. You can hit this out the park. What did you learn, you think, over the last couple of days of what the Mavericks did from a draft perspective?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on what happens with Larry. That's just what I'm calling him, all right? Enrique Garcia, who follows and reports on international basketball, lives in Spain, spends a lot of time covering those guys over there, has said his nickname is Larry. Now, whether that's Larry or like Larry, I don't know, but Larry.
Could he be Larry Legend at some point?
Yeah. Now, are there plans to bring Larry over, or is he a stash for a year? That will also indicate something, because I think that there's really, I think I said this last night, maybe the night before, but there's really no reason in signing him to the rookie deal, bringing him over, having him counting as your cap, giving him a roster spot if he's going to be your 7th guard. So I think if he signs a real deal, then they're probably going to play him. Which I would say, maybe he's ready to rock and roll and contribute to a playoff team, but I would say that indicates that they really are serious about future stuff. If they stash him, and if they, if Toby and if Seva don't get deals either, maybe they're, I don't know. So I guess that was step 1. So I don't know how much is learned, but I guess what they do right after that, I think will say a lot.
How about you, Ron?
Yeah, what have I learned? Well, I kind of, since I've somewhat followed Mike Schmidt's, some of his, early careers, I was I guess probably in high school, middle school, to be honest, when he was doing a lot of this stuff. He was big international scouting guy. He always showed, he showed love for playmaking, dribble, pass, shoot, defense, all those kind of qualities. This draft class, in different ways, I think kind of reinforced some of that. Masai, again, is another player, is another person that, clearly, enjoys watching international basketball and kind of, looking for the next, gym over there that can maybe come over here and be a true, high-level starter. So I think my biggest takeaway from the draft is that they got a bunch of their guys. I don't think that they believe they reached on anyone. I think these are all players that they had that they assumed that they would be capable of taking in the range that they actually selected them. These feel like all Masai and Mike Schmidt's guys is based on the small amount of information that I had, going into the draft.
Masai Ujiri has a type. He has a real archetype when it comes to the type of players that he likes. And I think we saw a lot of that confirmed, especially with his pick of Morez Johnson Jr., which is interesting because Morez said during his press conference that he had no idea that the Mavericks liked him until the night of the NBA draft. So, which was very interesting to hear him say that, hey, I had no idea they were interested in me until it was.
We did say his agent handled a lot of
yeah,
that.
his agent handled, yeah.
Probably knew
Yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah.
But
Who's
it was
his
just,
agent, by the way? Is he? He's a CAA.
No,
yes, he is.
Dusty
May.
Mintz. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, okay.
Cooperflagg, Dusty May, and Morez Johnson Jr. all represented by CAA.
Austin Brown, Aaron Mintz. Yeah. Madison.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting to hear them say that, but clearly it sounds like, or it could be inferred, differently, that the Mavericks had an idea that this was the type of player that if he was there, they were going to take him. And the fact that you get a top 12, top 15 prospect and you're able to get your guy there at 9, for some, they may feel like they have, reached a little bit on the pick. I think they got the guy exactly who they wanted, and it fits the archetype and more so the demeanor and the direction that they want to go based on what they're trying to build here, which, look, man, if you're going to trust Masai Ujiri and Mike Schmitz to make these decisions, they could have done worse. Nate Ament, they could have done worse. But yet they got the guy, Morez Johnson Jr., so here you go.
I really don't think it was that much of a reach, to be honest. I mean, I know that that's the way that other people are framing it, not necessarily you or Ron or
I wouldn't say
anyone
that
within
reach
these
or
walls.
anything.
But yeah, because it's like once you got past those 4 guards that all win in a row and that literally every single one of them could become a 20-point per game scorer. Yeah. Literally every single one. But once you get past that, it was Burries, who probably is not going to average 20 a game ever in his career. Maybe he will. I don't know. But that's not the kind of player he profiles as. He profiles more as like a Case and Wallace type, like complimentary guy, shooter.
Derek White, that kind of.
Yeah, and then you get to, Ament, like on the high side could be a scorer, but like really everybody else in the first round, outside of maybe Phylon if he pops or some other guys, like most of these guys are more like role player types, supportive player types. So I don't know who they would have drafted that's like, okay, yeah, that guy definitely, like, would Burries at 9 have been a reach if Morez was a reach? Or, like, would Mara have been like, this is perfect.
Just looking at Vicini's draft guy, which I thought was just such a good draft guy, Morez was 11.
And although
they drafted him at 9.
And Will Godley.
No.
10.
Will Godley had him at 10. Our guy had him at 10.
That's not a reach. A reach to me, if he was 17, he took him at 9. That'd be a reach.
Yeah.
Even if he was 13, I wouldn't be like, they really reached down. Like, that's a preference. Like,
if you're within 2-3 spots of a projected range, I think you did just fine.
Especially if they would have traded, again, you have to find someone that is willing to trade up. Then if they would have traded down and got him at 12, everyone would have been like, oh my God, they're geniuses.
Steal.
Oh my, can you believe what
it's
they
like
just
a couple
did?
of spots.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with a lot of this is like 9 and 12, clearly the gap for 9 and 12 was like nothing in this draft.
Yeah, which is why the Thunder didn't feel compelled to trade up.
Exactly.
The Thunder got a guy that the Mavs took at 9, they'd be like, okay. Like
and everyone in the world knew the Thunder wanted to trade up, and they still couldn't get them to trade up because they probably figured that Morrow would fall.
Mm-hmm.
Or not but be there.
Yeah, and he was there. I mean, and also, if you believe the idea that with the Mavericks taking Morez there at 9, that there were other teams that were like, hey, we might want to potentially try to get up there to go get a Morez Johnson Jr., that says a lot about the player, about what kind of reputation he had among folks who, do this for a living, and the idea of what he could be in the Mavericks getting him at number 9. And I think for some folks, we're like, look, we needed to get a guard. We needed to get some high-level guard play, and you had Burry sitting there, and you decide to take a forward. I could understand some of that, that angst there because of the perceived lack of guard play on this team. But if this was the best player that the Mavericks felt like was available for them given their situation, yeah, this is what they decided to go. And there was clearly something about Burries that they didn't feel comfortable enough taking him with there, and that Morez was the guy that they felt was best, for this situation.
They just like Rez more.
That's what I'm saying. Like they
probably
liked
was close.
Morez more.
Probably was like, you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if the Mavs were like Morez, Burries, or Nate. There might have been their 3, and they probably maybe ranked them a certain way. And,
I mean, we found out late in the process that the Mavericks went to go watch Nate Amen work out, so clearly he was on the radar in some respects.
Yeah.
Well, again, we don't know what kind of like.
Yeah.
This is not me like promising you that they're going to make trades or whatever, but like they likely. Not that tampering exists in the NBA, but they probably have an idea of what they're going to do in free agency. They probably have an idea of what they're going to do with the exception. They probably have an idea of what they're going to do with their vets. And maybe like when you look at the 17 different routes that they could go, most of them lead back to them needing a big, whereas probably fewer of them lead back to them needing a guard. And also, I will say this, as one of the foremost Braden Burries to the Mavs believers out there. Had the Mavs drafted Braden Burries, they would still need playmaking. They would still need more guards. Yes. Burries is not solving your guard problem. So, can I just read this real quick?
Yeah, read.
This is kind of off. This is a little off topic.
I know where this is going.
Yeah.
So, this is from Front Office Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Dundon.
Yeah.
We know that guy.
Yeah, man.
We've been talking about him lately.
Is this the report
Did I cuss on this?
Tom Dundon says that he wants taxpayers to pay the entire $600 million bill for the Moda Center renovations. Quote, "It feels like we're making a pretty big investment by staying here and paying these tax rates," the billionaire said this week in Portland.
This is like the worst guy.
Yeah,
right?
What an absolute Chad.
There's like nothing to root
man.
for
Like, he is.
in Portland at this point. Like, what
a loser.
Like, he's not on James Dolan levels yet, but he's rapidly
he's getting there.
He's rapidly approaching
rising the rankings
very quickly. Like,
he's speed running
he's
the James Dolan career
Oh
arc.
my gosh,
It's
man!
insane.
Like, to go on record out loud and say, you know what, I want all these citizens of this city to foot this bill because, hey, it's a little bit of a burden for us to stay around here. Shut the hell up, man.
It is
like,
awesome.
open up your wallet and quit being a cheap ass.
So it can get worse, Mavs fans. Somehow it
geez.
can get worse.
He is the best.
And that's,
he saw once Nico got fired, he was like, there's an opening here to become the foremost villain in the league. Like, I'm coming for the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And David makes the point again, which Tom Dundon will always can always throw back at people's faces. I went to Raleigh, North Carolina and built a Stanley Cup champion with the Carolina Hurricanes. So doing it my way clearly works in some respects, which is like, all right, man, congrats. Like, you got yourself a Stanley Cup being a cheap ass. Great. The NHL and the NBA are two completely different leagues, man.
You got to spend a lot of money to compete. I saw
you got to spend a lot of money to compete in the
Front
NBA.
Office posted the luxury tax bills of all the teams, and
it's
congratulations, everyone. The most teams that pay the luxury tax do pretty well.
I mean, the Thunder is like, that's why trading Aaron Wiggins was such a big thing, because like Aaron Wiggins makes like $8 million. That trade saved them like $40 million or something.
Luxury
absurd.
tax.
Their payroll
It was a $51 million savings.
Yeah, their payroll before that was like more than $400 or $500 million for one season.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well,
is
that was
nuts.
the whole thing with the Golden State Warriors, and them footing. Joe Lacob, was he going to continue to foot the bill for the amount of luxury tax that he had to pay? And for a while he did it, but after a while it just gets too expensive. Like,
yeah. Now no one's crying for them because they get all the checks too. I mean, they get to keep 50% of that divided up 30 ways. The players keep 50% of that divided up about 600 ways. So, it's all good.
And I mean, good for them. They squeezed out one more championship out of that group too in 2022. So I mean, it worked out for them to get in there. But yeah, Tom Dundon, thumbs down to that.
That's
dude,
exactly
man.
right.
Thumbs down to that guy. Coming up next here on the DLLS Mavs. Yeah, that's right. Coming up next here on the DLLS Mavs podcast, our National NBA insider Marc Stein. The latest on what is taking place around the NBA. Deals are happening. But what's next for the Mavericks as they get ready for their own free agency? We'll talk to him about that coming up next. But first, we want you to celebrate the World Cup. How can you celebrate the World Cup? Team USA is playing tonight in their final group stage game. They've already qualified for the round of 32. You know how you can celebrate them? by going to store.allcitynetwork.com right now and checking out the Cup Collection t-shirts that are available to you. You've got plenty of colorways to choose from, whether it be Team USA, whether you love Team Mexico as well. There's a lot to choose from at store.allcitynetwork.com, where we have our beautiful Cup collection celebrating the 2026 World Cup. Team USA looking to get their third win. They've already clinched the group and are already moving on to the round of 32. Can they make it 3 for 3 in the World Cup tonight as they play at 9 p.m., I believe, 9 p.m. tonight against Turkey. So looking forward to that. But yeah, check that out, store.allcitynetwork.com, and check out our Cup collection for everything to celebrate the World Cup 2026. Coming up in our final segment, we will be going around the association. Some guys getting paid, some guys getting moved, and things already happening across the association. But right now, though, we dial up the Stein line with our National NBA insider, Marc Stein, at the Stein line on this Thursday afternoon. Marc Stein, what's going on?
Gents, how are we?
Pretty good.
Doing well.
So you were you weren't teasing us. You weren't totally lying to us last night.
You guys were disrupting my workflow last night.
Hold on. Don't do that. Like, you could have not came on the show and stayed at your little computer
your little
computer and did all your little tweets and whatnot. Don't you come on this show blaming us for you not being able to report news when you wanted to. I love you though. Still, I love you.
LaMelo Ball could have been out sooner, but nope, I was not gonna miss DLS Mavs.
You're not gonna make me feel bad about having you on the show. The appointment was come on.
The appointment was in the books, and we were not canceling it.
Touche.
So it sounds like this.
What type of computer do you have at your house? Do you have like a big desktop? Is it still like
still got that Lenovo that's falling apart? You still got that black Lenovo falling apart?
Of course I do, but I don't use that at home. That's only for the road. So at home, I have a big desktop, and on the big desktop, I enlarge. I need my tweet deck as big as possible, so it's zoomed into really big letters because I'm old and I can't see. You guys know I love. It's like how I asked Tanner to zoom on the chat. I zoom it up to the biggest size I can. So I'm watching that that's like the stock market. I'm watching that because I need to know. I need to know what my competition's doing, and I need to that's the thing. We were worried that someone was going to beat us to the punch on LaMelo, and all of a sudden I'm looking at chat. And I see some of our chatters are talking about, oh my God, LaMelo. I'm like, what just happened? And I didn't know what happened. And on ESPN, they talked about LaMelo being available, but fortunately, no teams were mentioned. So that's why I had to blink twice, get away from, end our call, and then Jake and I could put out that the Wolves and the Raptors were in serious pursuit, and then look how fast it ended. By this morning, done. On to the next chaos.
That's right.
No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna,
but that's why. But that's why That's why you guys were saying, blink twice if it's Mavs, and I know I blink a lot when I'm on. Yeah. and it was. Now you guys know it was not Mavs. I was not working on a Mavs story, but I knew you wouldn't believe me. I knew if I started rampantly blinking, you guys were sure that I had a Mavs trade that I was gonna post. So.
So see, I told
the truth.
Quell my concerns, Mark. Charlotte creates a giganto $40 million trade exception. They might have a need at point guard, and the Mavs have a point guard that makes $39 million. There's no way that Kyrie Irving is going to get traded, right?
Look, to this point, every team that's called, the Mavs have told no. But I wouldn't have imagined Charlotte being among those callers until now. Are they going to call now? We'll have to wait and see if that actually happens, and can I confirm it? But it obviously, you're not wrong in terms of it makes sense. And look, I think the Mavs position has been pretty significant, or not significant, pretty consistent. They don't want to trade Kyrie Irving, but how firm and how long lasting is that position. You know, we heard throughout last season that Patrick Dumont wanted to see Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis play together. That obviously never happened. Anthony Davis was traded in February. Do they still, as a franchise, want to see Kyrie and Coop play together? I think yes. But look, if the phone ring, I've said this all, I think I've been consistent on this point. The Mavs can tell teams no on Kyrie. It's not going to stop the phone from ringing. And again, Charlotte was not a team that was in the market for a point guard. Now, look, Charlotte also just did a deal with Coby White, and that was some of their motivation here. That LaMelo Ball played 72 games after a few injury-riddled seasons. They wanted to sell high when interest was high. And look, I don't think the Hornets and the Raptors were the only teams chasing LaMelo Ball. So Charlotte moved quickly. And part of the reason they did it was because they knew Detroit had serious interest in Coby White. If you remember last week, Jake and I reported that Tyler Hero is on the Pistons list. Norman Powell is on the Pistons list, but so is Coby White. Excuse me, I'm shouting myself into a lost voice. So was Coby White, and so was Isaiah Joe. So the Hornets knew that there was going to be serious competition for Coby White, and this move gave them the flexibility to give Coby White. I saw R. King Rocks doesn't like the terms 74 mil over 3. So R. King Rocks clearly thinks that's an overpay. But
it's about $24 million a season for, he's a quality guard.
But look, you know what? My sense is this is not a popular move in Charlotte because LaMelo Ball was beloved by Hornets fans. And look, when he's on his game, he does juice the offense and get the ball in the places it needs to go. And I do think you are hearing a concern among Hornets fans. If this was a Hornets show, I'm sure our chat would be filled with people saying, what's going to happen to the offense now? Is the offense going to run as smoothly without LaMelo Ball? But again, was LaMelo Ball going to play 72 games again? What's happened in Charlotte. We've talked about this ad nauseum because of the Rookie of the Year race. Con Knippel, Brandon Miller, and Coach Charles Lee, they have emerged as the faces and cornerstones of that franchise. And so I think that's the reason why one of the reasons why Charlotte was ready to do this so quickly. But it's amazing how fast it moved. The word was last night, LaMelo wants to stay in Charlotte. This is all being initiated by the Hornets. They're only listening. And by breakfast this morning, it was done. So
we'll probably talk about this next segment. I wonder, our resident fake trade artist, Bobby Krill over here, what it would take to even consider that. Because, for folks who don't know, the exception that the Charlotte Hornets created was a $40.7 million trade exception.
Biggest in NBA history.
The largest trade exception in NBA history.
They have a lot of players who I think would be interesting. And they have a ton of picks. So
do you have picks?
Yeah, like 13 ones, right, Mark, or something?
Yeah.
So I don't know the number,
Second
but
most, I think they said.
Today they added, an unprotected first, 3 swaps, and 3 more seconds. So look, there are worse trade partners that you could come up with if the Mavs reach the point that they want to entertain that. But again, I have zero evidence that anything has changed on the Mavs front. As far as I understand it, as we speak, talking on June 25th in the 1 p.m. Central hour, the Mavs will take your calls on Clay and PJ and Gafford. No, I have not talked to any other teams yet who have said, you know what, hey, Stein, look into this. The Mavs Kyrie posture is changing. No one has said that. So
Nathan says, of course, which is true, that the Hornets have the Mavs pick in 2027.
They do.
You make them give that back and see what kind of conversation you might have there.
I have a Morez question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or am I stepping on you all?
No, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything.
So, Mark, today, our very own Kevin Gray and Ron Harad Jr. Kevin Gray Jr. and Ron Harad Jr. were at the press conference with Morez Johnson Jr. And Ron, did you ask about position, or KG did you ask
Ron
about
did.
position?
Yeah.
So Ron asked about position, and Morez said he feels most comfortable at power forward. Now, obviously, that could mean nothing. It could mean something, but do you know? Like, do you have any indication? Like, what the Mavs' plans are for him, or is that like not?
In all candor, I have not met Dusty May yet, and Monday with a 1:00 press conference, which is basically 29, 30 hours before the start of free agency. I highly doubt that I'm going to be able to go to that press conference and introduce myself. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what the new coach is thinking lineup wise. I do think also we need to see more, like, where is this roster going to be on July 4th? Will they find a veteran trade? Like, the Mavs have a lot of roster questions to answer, I think, before we can start doing depth chart stuff. But I'm sure my answer doesn't surprise you. You guys know that I'm gonna. I guess I don't like guessing. I don't want to guess because it's funny. Like, I have a chat on my Substack, and some questions I can answer, and then a lot of them are like, "What are the rumors you hear about the Mavs?" I mean, you guys, I can't just circulate rumors because then it's like Stein stamped this rumor. So I gotta.
I mean, you could. You just choose not to, which is fine.
Well, because I think it would. I think it would be a bad idea. I think people expect. People expect when they. I think our audience too expects when I say something that I've checked it out and verified it. So I literally have not had a single. I mean, we don't even know what his coaching staff's going to be. So I imagine that question will rightfully be posed to Dusty May on Monday afternoon, and hopefully he gives us an answer. But I mean, what was the most interesting thing that came out of that press conference? I mean, Morez saying that he didn't know till they drafted him that they wanted him.
I mean, that was one of them.
The junkyard dog, I guess.
Yeah,
we did see Jay Triano in the AAC. He was on the phone. We saw Jay Triano. We said, "Hey." I guess
who's he talking to?
I don't know. I say,
it was a full.
That was kind of it. He was on the phone. I hate interrupting people when they're doing stuff like that. So
here's something I want to throw at you and also chat. So you just saw Tim Conley. You saw the swing he took today.
He's a bold one.
So have you guys imagined, had the Mavs been able to go the Tim Conley route, are these the kind of trades that we would have seen him making here? He is aggressive.
I love swings, dude.
LaMelo Ball at his best is a very good player. And I'm guessing Timberwolves podcasts are rejoicing at the kind of content they're going to get from an Ant Mello backcourt.
Michael Gray, congrats, my guy. Congrats, because the nightly broadcast for the Timberwolves games. Oh my gosh.
It's just funny, the perspective, because I think Hornets fans love LaMelo Ball so much that they feel like they didn't get enough in this trade. And I'm just like, the Wolves did not want to trade Naz Reid, and they have now traded Julius Randle and Naz Reid and a first and a bunch of swaps and some seconds for something that may work great. But
I mean, their starting front court and sixth man of the year within 2 years are all gone. Karl Anthony Towns, gone. Julius Randle, gone. Naz Reid, gone.
Crazy.
Rudy Gobert is the only one left standing of that front court that they've had.
Yeah, like,
it was the Western Conference Finals.
They did not want to trade Naz Reid, but you could only do this with Naz Reid or Rudy Gobert because they consider Jaden McDaniels untouchable.
Which they should.
Look, they actually have some very nice young players, and they're going to let these young players try to step into the void now and see if internal improvement can carry the day. But yeah, they now
suddenly
suddenly
bad.
Yeah, after being a big team, Gobert needs some front court help now.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Gobert is Gobert takes such good care of himself. Like, he's just so ridiculously disciplined about his off-court life that, I think he will continue to be able to do what he's been doing. But, man, that is like
definitely a bold move, though. I was pretty surprised, I'd say. And they gave up good, like, if you're the Hornets, like, I think they got a fair amount of stuff back. Like, I wouldn't be like, maybe I saw a video, I think a local news station was on, doing some manager interviews, as we all know Ronald loves. And then they were like paying to a car. And like, what the heck are we doing? How can we trade LaMelo? This is like us losing Jordan. I'm like, yo,
all right.
And I'm like, you know what? But that's what fandom is about. Being extremely dramatic about the things that you love. And it's like, you know what? I respect that guy. Because, I mean, that's probably how he felt in the moment. He would probably calm down and realize it's not as bad as it probably seemed. But, that's the guy that they kind of grew up with. He actually like wanted to be there, which, as a Wizards fan, that's a big deal for those kind of teams. Like, people don't like, hey, let's trade me to Charlotte. Like, that's not a thing that happens, even though it's a great city, but that's not been what their luck has been in the NBA. So he actually, according to Stein and Jake Fisher, did not want to leave there. So
apparently he was looking forward to his upcoming
looking
season.
Forward to the season. So
was Charlotte, apparently.
So
was
and Charlotte's like, you know what? Let's get more serious. Like, Khan's pretty serious. Brandon Miller, relatively serious. Coby White, Charles Lee, who I think Charles Lee coached Kyrie Irving in Boston, correct? So I think he was an assistant, I think, on one of those staffs. Yeah. If Kyrie was still there when he was there. They're doing a new thing. And they probably weren't going to be able to win a title with that core. I guess they won't win a title with this core either, but I guess they have to find a way to.
I mean, if nothing else,
another star there. I'm not really sure where they go from here.
If nothing else, Minnesota's gonna be hella entertaining watching LaMelo Ball.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be great. Hopefully they're healthy
together.
If they're healthy,
they got to build out the rest of that team.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. They got a forward here in Dallas that they could use. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I do, because I like Terrence Shannon Jr. I learned a lot about him in the playoffs. I'm like, oh, this guy can like really play basketball. Like, I didn't realize like how much he could do off. Like, it's like a 6-man kind of role. It's Jeff Bones, Highland. And I'm missing somebody else that's on there.
Yeah, Terrence Shannon Jr., Bones, Highland. They re-signed to Sumu.
Is it pronounced Beringer or?
The big
Johan Beringer.
Yeah, Johan Beringer. So
am I saying it right?
People like that to show out.
Yeah.
They have Isaiah Evans. They drafted Isaiah Evans, the shooter from Duke.
Yeah, they did draft him.
So they got some interesting parts. Mostly guards, though.
Look, they also have a very good coach. You guys know I'm a Chris Finch fan. I'm eager to see what he does with
Charlotte Saturday in the chat. We'll let you go on this one, Stein. Hornets fans, call me when you lose Giannis after 13 years.
LOL.
All right.
LOL. Yes, they also have Josh Green. Wow, which is pretty
I'm
funny.
sorry, Charlie, but I'm happy it's over, and hopefully you are as well. That it's just
before I go, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Real quick. Today is the 5th birthday for my Substack. But the reason I bring that up, my 5th year, so my independent publication is 5 years old, and if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to be on this show. Had I stayed at the New York Times, I never would have been allowed to also be on the DLS podcast 4 times a week. So it's a co-celebration, and anyone who has read me or listened to me here the last 2 years, read me at the Stein line for the last 5. Thank you. Big day. No time to celebrate because it is absolute madness out there. I mean, like, I think we've been promising it. I think we've been promising trade action. We've already seen 3 pretty big trades. Giannis, well, actually, the Randall trade will be combined with this one. So this will LaMelo Ball will be, so it'll be 4 teams at least. And we've seen the last couple summers that these trades tend to get expanded when they're actually finalized, when the moratorium's lifted July 6th, I want to say. So this one could grow even bigger. But look, we are monitoring a lot of action, and even as I say those words, I know that the only thing this show and this audience cares about is Where's Gafford going? Where's PJ going? Where's Clay going? So I am
That's
working
exactly
on it. I am chasing it. Let's see. Let's see what we.
Let's see.
Let's see
We'll
what
go
happens.
chase.
Let's see what happens next.
We'll go chase.
Don't keep secrets from us, okay?
We'll talk
Don't
to you.
make don't make me late to break stories. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Mark. Bye, Mark. I almost said something. Bye, Mark. We'll talk to you soon. See you later.
Bye, Mark.
We got 10 minutes to finish up here on our show today. Become a diehard member, alldlls.com, or scan that QR code that you see on your screen right about now. In 3, 2, 1. Alldlls.com. When you do become a diehard member, 20% off our events, free t-shirt upon sign up, and access to our member-only Discord, and access to all of our premium content. Alldlls.com to become a diehard member, or scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now. Let's finish up today. Go around the association real quick. Congratulations to Morez Johnson Jr. Had his introductory press conference earlier today. If you missed any part of our show, you can go back and watch at the beginning. Right here on DLLS Sports. Stein mentioned deals aplenty already happening across the association. Congratulations to Coby White. He gets a 3-year deal, $74 million to return to the Charlotte Hornets after the Hornets dealt LaMelo Ball earlier this morning to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and 3 second-round picks in 29, 32, and 33. So the Charlotte Hornets remaking their backcourt today with LaMelo Ball going to Minnesota and Coby White staying in Charlotte. And as I mentioned earlier, a $40.7 million trade exception created, the largest trade exception created in NBA history, which just exceeded the one that was created a few days ago. No, a few days ago.
Oh, Randall?
Yeah, that was a $33 million exception, which was the largest.
Yeah.
Just now it's exceeded there. Bob, you raised an interesting dilemma with that trade exception being raised and the need of a true starting caliber point guard, in Charlotte. Is there anything you would want back from them if they came calling for Kyrie Irving?
Nipple.
Yeah.
I mean, if you call us, we can answer, right?
The irony.
They can't send, if they want to bring Kyrie into a trade exception, they can't send back salary. It would have to just go into the trade exception.
Right.
No.
So it would only be picks. And it's like, okay, I mean, if I'm the Mavs, even if I'm not super interested in being, a 45-win team this year, if I'm going to trade Kyrie and all I'm getting back is my own pick next year, which who knows where that's going to be.
And that's just a terrible PR thing. Let me get our pick back.
Yeah,
it's
our pick back, which could end up being the number 1 pick, but it could also be the number 16 pick, right? Like, it's just
in a weak draft. By the way, like, this draft coming up is, from everyone I know that does it 24/7, is like supposed to be a horrendous draft class.
Yeah.
So like, it's not this year. Like, the next 2 classes are known to not be good. That's why everyone cared so much. That's why everyone tanked for this draft class, because the next 2, again, things change, are just not supposed to be good classes.
Yeah. The number 1 pick is still the number 1 pick, though, but I think more than just getting, so like if all things were equal, getting 1 pick back would be nice because you control your own destiny to a degree, and you could suck complete butt and still get top 4.
Yeah.
If you're going to trade a guy now, especially if you're going to kind of maybe suck, then you want like 3 or 4 picks back because it's darts.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we talk about second-round picks are just like throws of the darts. First-round picks now kind of are too because you have no idea where they're going to be, So if it were to be Kyrie for a trade exception, I want like 3 1s or 4 1s. Like, give me a ton of first-rounders.
It would have to be, for me,
it would be
least 3,
that'd be
4.
disappointing though, man. It would be disappointing. If I'm trading Kyrie, I want players.
Yeah, like if they got their own pick back, I still think someone said like the Cleveland pick in 2029. I'm like, where are we? Like, what would the Mavs, like, if you're a Mavs fan, you'd be like, what the heck are we doing?
Well, you're loading up on ones to trade for the next guy.
Yeah,
because if they trade Kyrie for Air, the Mavs get a $40 million trade exception.
That's right.
I guess, but like now we're I don't know. You're almost like hoping that like Edwards gets out, or like who's the next guy? Like, I don't know who's the next.
Would you have said LaMelo was going to be the next one? It always happens.
But they don't have enough. Like they wouldn't get enough back to then trade for the next LaMelo. They don't have enough for that. Like they don't have what.
Oh yeah, I mean, if
they didn't have what Minnesota had to give up.
$40
right?
million trade exception and 3 first-round picks. That's basically what LaMelo.
They
went
gave
for.
one unprotected and 3 swaps in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
and
I
don't know if the Mavs have that available.
Well, the Mavs would have like 5 ones and then swaps in 32 and 33.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Let's just play, wild ass scenario. Let's say things start to sour in Detroit for Cade Cunningham. You never know. Make a call.
Like I guess you're hoping. Yeah, but I mean,
that would be way down the line.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you just never know how these things can change.
That's true. That's true.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Usually anything does happen in the league.
Yes.
But you get in that case, you would get a trade exception. You could then turn around and use one of the picks that you get to trade for a guy making $25 million. You can go use another one of those picks to trade for a guy making 7. You could use another one of those picks to trade for a guy making 8.
Yeah.
Boom. Now you got, a totally new thing.
I think it's real value in just keeping a good player to see how he helps your other young players. I think it's this guy, Motor City Hoops, who I've learned a lot of basketball just from watching his content and reading his tweets and stuff like that. And he had made a really good point about what happened in Detroit is that they didn't have enough veterans to even see if their young guys were good or not. Like, you need other veteran players to even show how good are our young guys because all young guys just can't do it. Like, you need vets to make things easy for the young guys to then see, okay, oh yeah, Cade. This is what Cade can do when he has some veteran players around him and he's healthy. Like, okay, we understand. Okay, Asar Thompson can do some of this stuff. Like, they needed a Tobias Harris. Houston a couple years ago, they needed Dylan Brooks to come in here. They needed Fred VanVleet. Without that, they kind of were just in the wind, like not knowing what the heck they were doing a bunch of the time. So like,
maybe that's what Kyrie is this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's like I would keep Kyrie for like literally just like knowledge of who the heck can play and not. Like
for half a
he's
season,
gonna give you
guys can play
that for sure. If you lose Kyrie, it's like who in the world is making sure everyone else is doing stuff?
Because that benefits Kyrie's trade value. By the time you get the deadline, you can sell extremely high if that's the route you decide to go down. Because there will be, I would imagine there will be suitors by the time you get the trade deadline of this upcoming season for Kyrie Irving, especially if he comes out the gate playing well.
It depends on what you're looking for, though, because right now it's easier to move money around and just kind of build stuff out of thin air. Whereas at the deadline, you have a lot fewer options. That was kind of part of the reason why I was like, dude, just keep AD through the summer. It'd be easier to make it happen. But they ended up finding a way to make something work.
We'll see. He might be in Portland, allegedly. So we'll see.
The Moneymaker, 90210.
Great song and show, I think.
I think they meant to do a different one too, because the $5 one came right after.
Dollar Super Chat, and then the Moneymaker 90210 with the final Super Chat. Anyway, you see Anthony Simons being a good backcourt signing.
At the mid-level, sure.
I mean, sure. I mean,
he provides you some shooting. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I don't know what he's getting.
He's
2 years.
He's probably mid-level.
I'm about to say, would you put him in the mid-level there? The full mid-level? That's what, $15 million?
Probably, right?
He might not be able to get the full. I don't know. I mean, he's somewhere around there. I think he's definitely better than tax mid-level.
Yeah.
But like there were people in the chat last night bringing up Colin Sexton. I think Sexton is a little better of a two-way player. So I guess it just depends on what happens with the rest of the Mavs roster. Like, are you going to need guys that can literally just shoot and you got defenders to protect them? Or do you need guys that can do a little bit of both? Yeah. So, like, Sexton and Simons are both good players, I think, or at least they're both fine players.
Yeah.
Just different kind of strengths.
Yeah. I think they'd help. Again, they would let you know. They would help, like, Morez Johnson Jr. Like, having just another guard on the floor that can do some shooting, pass the ball a little bit, helps the young guys. And the Mavs need to find players that can, again, just take some reps away from their young guys to, like, help them be more comfortable in their roles. So I think Sexton, Simons, W.
Yeah. Shout out RMF as well with the $4.99 super.
RMF 69, baby.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Massive couple of days for us here at DLLS Sports and the DLLS Mavs podcast with all the viewership that we had of the NBA draft. Thank you all so much for your participation, your support at the Pub McKinney as well. Had a fantastic time there on Tuesday night for night 1 of the NBA draft. The NBA draft coverage is a big undertaking. So shout out to all of our producers and staff that helped us out over the last couple of days. John Anderson, Abby Jones, shout out to all of you. Katya Villalba as well.
Ryan Vaughters
was helping, chipped in as well. Like, shout out to
W.
our
GM
fantastic,
Ben, even?
Yeah.
GM Ben, somewhat.
Enzo, yeah.
Enzo was helping out.
That's right. Shout out to made it all happen. So we look forward to the rest of this offseason. NBA free agency begins on Tuesday, June 30th. We've already seen a lot of trades. We'll see what happens for the Mavericks here over the next few weeks. Summer League is also right around the corner as well. So the NBA calendar is not stopping, boys and girls, and we are not stopping here on the DLS Mavs podcast. But I wanted to make sure to stop down. Thank everyone who helped us out with our tremendous draft week coverage here on DLLS Sports. Shout out to the best producer in the game today, Tanner Rotman. Thank you so much for making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you as always.
Yes, Tia. Yes. Somehow I did.
Did you finish the beer?
I did.
Good job.
All night.
It
That's
took
right.
That was there about 2 hours.
For a little while, but
Somebody said that's the warmest beer ever. That was funny.
That's our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Carell. That's our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr. I'm your man, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.